when is the best time to let go? We're not talking about relationship, we are talking about your property. So I came across this very interesting discussion which I had with my client over the weekends. So I decided to make a video to share about this. So her question to me is, Sherwin, how do I know whether I should sell or continue to hold on and rent my property? So of course I ran the numbers for her, and in this video I'll be sharing about that. For some context, the property that she bought is in Pasir Ris 8 and it is a 3-bedroom. And if you were to look at it, right, the purchase price for her property is at 1.5 million, bought 4 years back. And as of now, her valuation is around 2.15 to 2.2 million, thereabouts lah. Okay, and the rental based on that transacted is 5,003. So to start off this conversation, right, my question to her is, what is your objective for buying this property? Okay, because that will form the core for the discussion moving forward. And she told me that her objective is to make as much money as possible, okay, which is true for all the owners out there. Nobody want to make as little money as possible. So this is her current situation. She bought it at 1.5 million. Current valuation is around 2.2 million, and her paper profit or unrealized profit is 696,000, and the equity which she put into the unit is 376,000, which is the 25% down payment. If you look based on this, right, her return on equity is 185% over 4 years period, which is very, very, very healthy. Okay, for context, this is a brand new project. They just collected their keys 2-3 months back. Okay, and she has been going back and forth whether she should rent or she should sell or she should stay lah. But then again, the question is, what do you want to achieve from this property? Okay, her ideal situation, she says, is to sell at 2.5 million and make a $1 million profit. So the additional profit from there, it's 300,000, and expected growth from now till then will be 14%. So to help her understand this situation, not saying that it is not possible, but we look at all the transactions of the new launches, past and present, to determine, right, what she want to achieve. Is it achievable? And if it is achievable, how long will it take? So if you look at, for all the brand new property cycle, right, they all go through a certain phase. When they purchase from the developer, as you can see, it is always at the lowest point. And when it TOP, right, the price will shoot up. Because in general, Singaporeans prefer, firstly, newer things, and secondly, we do not like to wait. And hence the demand come in, that's why the prices go up, right? But following that, right, there will always be a period of stagnation or just slight appreciation, because all the property transacted are based on that value being transacted from the neighbor lah. So as you can see, this is for Normanton Park. The prices appreciated from 1008 PSF all the way to the highest 2002 PSF. And for the past, I would say 3 to 3 years, the prices have been fluctuating from 2000 to 2001 PSF. Okay, this is similarly for Florence Residences. All the owners, first owner there, made a lot of money lah. Okay, so for the time period of 2019 all the way to 2022, okay, price appreciated by 24%. Following that, there is actually quite a flat line throughout, which is around 0% growth lah. Okay, this is Park Esta. You will see a similar trend from TOP to 2-3 years after TOP, the line is flat. Okay, so the question that I ask her, or I like to ask her, or for any of you watching this video, right, is the price that you want to achieve, right, from whatever premium you are making. So for example, this client, she has already a paper profit of around 700,000, and she want to make another 300,000 more. Firstly, is it achievable? Okay. Secondly, if it is achievable, how long will it take? Okay. And thirdly, what are the opportunity costs, or what cost will it take for this to happen? And lastly, are there better and safer alternative for her to make this additional $300,000? Okay, so you can see, I pull back transactions from an even earlier period. The properties after the TOP period, right, they do appreciate. And the reason why they do appreciate, right, firstly is because there will be lesser people selling after the TOP stagnation phase, and the property market cycle would have already caught up to set a new pricing. But in the next 2 to 3 years, to achieve that additional 300,000 profit or additional 14% growth, right, is quite highly unlikely. But if they were to hold on beyond the period of 2 to 3 years, of maybe like 7 to 10 years, then it is more likely. Okay, this is the data I pull out for Lakeview. And similarly, this is another condo called Archipelago at Bedok Reservoir area. So you can see from 2012 to 2016, the price appreciated. Following which, from 2016 all the way to 2022, it is a flat line, meaning the first owner made money, but they didn't make extra from holding the additional 2 to 3 years. And in recent years, from 2022 all the way to 2025, mainly because of our land getting more and more expensive and income start to catch up, the prices appreciated again. So same thing for my owner at Pasir Ris 8. Okay, for the next 2 3 years, is it possible for her to make another 300,000 or 14% growth? It is possible, but the chance of it happening is very slight. But if she were to hold on to a longer period, okay, then the possibility will definitely increase. Okay, then we have Sims Urban Oasis as well, from the point of purchase to TOP, TOP to the stagnation phase, and stagnation to the appreciation phase again. Okay, so I'm not saying that earning more money is not possible, and it's not that brand new condo, once it TOP, it will be at its peak. There will still be appreciation, just at how long will it take. Okay, then the next question will be at what cost? Because she will continue to rent and everything, right? Which goes back to the question, she is looking for profitability, earning the most money in the shortest possible time. Okay, so in the period that she do not sell, she will be renting out the unit, right? So this is the theme of the condo, theme of the video. What is the actual rental cost? For those of you that follow news or whatsoever, you would know that our non-owner occupied rate, right, has actually increased throughout the years. So effective 1st of January 2024, which is the start of last year, you will be taxed. The highest bracket is at 36%. Even if you don't rent out and it is vacant, you will still be taxed at the same tax rate. And this is very important, and I'll explain why. Okay, this is the calculation I did for her, assuming she managed to rent higher than what her neighbor rent. Because just now, as you can see from the front of the video, right, her reference transaction based on what the neighbors rented out is at 5,003. If she can manage to rent $300 higher, she will be renting at $5,600 per month. Okay, and what this include, right, is there's a 2 months vacancy period to find a tenant. So these 2 months should not only be paying her interest, maintenance cost, she'll be paying the property tax as well, because the government don't care if you rent it out or you leave it empty. As long as it is not owner occupied, you'll be paying the non-owner occupied property tax rates. So her annual rental, right, because she left it vacant for 2 months, annual rental is $56,000. And her annual value is the amount of rental she should be getting multiplied by 12, regardless whether it's rented or not, is $67,200. With that, right, her property tax will amount to $13,392, which is a very good chunk of her annual rental, about 20%. On top of that, right, there's a maintenance fee. I put it at a lower amount, $350, but in actual fact, I think her maintenance fee is around $420-ish. But for $350 per month, right, per year she's paying $4,200 in maintenance fee. Okay. Then the next fee she has to pay would be the agent fee for finding the tenant. So how the agent fee charge? They charge it based on half month commission based on the 1 year rental, exclusive of the GST 9%, which works out to be around $3,000. And the last one is the interest payable to bank. Okay, so assuming she take the max loan of 75% for 1.5 million purchase, the interest payable to bank per year is around $18,000. So if we were to net it out, right, whatever profit she get at 56,000 minus all the expenses, her net rental per year or net profit per year is only at $17,356. Mind you, this is for a property that is worth $2.2 million. Okay, then we do a comparison, because if you want to see whether it's good or bad, you have to see the flip side, because we are arguing whether it's better to rent or to sell. Okay, if she were to sell now at $2.2 million, her gain will be $696,000. Of course, we have to be fair. We need to minus off all the expenses she paid for this property. The first one would be the buyer stamp duty, which we cannot sell more. That is paid to the government right at the start, which is around $44,000. Second is agency fee, commission for agents, legal fee, and if there's any other bank penalty, which estimated works out to be around $45,000. And lastly is the interest paid to the bank. Okay, because this is progressive payment. From the day they start to build, you're actually paying the monthly installment already, and this number works out to be $68,703. Of course, this is assuming she take the max loan of 75%. So if we minus off everything, the expense, right, her net sales gain, right, is $537,000 thereabout. Okay, so what's on the line? Comparing opportunity cost. Her annual rental income, right, is around $17,000. The equity in her property, right, is the down payment she have put inside the property and how much the capital portion, right, have appreciated. Okay, so equity she put in is 376,000. The unrealized profit, right, is 537,000, and these two combined, right, the equity she have in this property, right, is 930,000, which is close to $1 million. So what is on the line, right, is she has this equity in the property, right, and the returns she's getting on 900,000, right, is only at 1.89% per year. How I derive it? Very simple. Just take 17,000, divide by 913,000, and that's the number you will get. Per annum, you're getting 1.89%. So is it worth it to do this? Okay, and let's compare it to selling for a 4 years period. Okay, profit from sales is 537,000. Okay, return on equity, how I derive it is 537 divided by how much you put in at the start, which is 376. You will get the return on equity at 142.9%. And this is over a 4 years period. So per annum, right, she's actually gaining 35.7%. Okay, hear me out here. This is something very interesting. Assuming she wants to get another 300 or 200,000 in the next 1 or 2 years, okay, her return on equity will only get lower and lower because now they take 4 years to earn 142%. But if the next 2-3 years she don't see the increment of 200 and 300,000, these 4 years will become 5 years, 6 years, and 7 years. And if she decides to sell on the 7th year, and the return on equity is 142% or 143%, it is actually divided not by 4 but by 7 already. So by a per annum basis, her equity amount, ROE, actually gets lower and lower. And what is the return she is getting while she is waiting for the property to appreciate or not appreciate is only at 1.89%. So is it worth it? Okay, so which option is safer? She have repeated the cycle where capital gains of over 4 years is close to 150%, right? What if, right, this equity portion which she have is around 900,000, she take out 500,000 and reinvest in a similar property, right, that have a better potential of earning that $300,000 for her. Okay, why is this better? Firstly, the time taken, right, if she invests in something new, right, the chances of the new property appreciating, which we have saw in many new launches, right, is much higher than she hold on to a resale that will be stagnant for the next 2 to 3 years. Okay, not saying that it will not appreciate, it will, but the time taken will be much longer. So if she has this 900,000, right, and she take out $500,000 to reinvest, right, she still have $400,000, right, as a safety net. Or she can use this 400,000 to do other forms of investment to give her returns as well. Okay, so the time taken to earn the additional 300,000 is faster, and secondly, because she can cash out from her unrealized profit, right, even though she take out a part of her equity to reinvest, she still have 400,000 in her pocket for rainy days. So which option is safer? Okay, then the final question which I put across to her is, at which stage of your life cycle are you at? Okay, this is similarly for everyone watching the video. If you have a property and you don't know what to do with it, to sell or to rent, okay, are you at the starting stage of your life where you are accumulating assets at the age of 20 to 35, or are you at the stage where you can maximize your loan and you are going for growth and you don't mind taking higher risks for higher rewards, which is the growth stage? Or are you at the final stage of retirement where you do not want so much hassle, you don't mind the property sitting on unrealized profit as long as it is stable and you have a fixed income coming up? Because the one point, okay, the rental per year, right, the interest to the bank, right, will only diminish as the year pass by. So your net rental will increase year by year as well. Okay. So for her, it's very clear because she is in her mid 30s, she's still in the growth phase. Okay. So in the growth phase, she is more aggressive in pursuing capital gains than rental returns because there's only a few more cycles where she can capitalize on her age and her maximum loan available. So she is at this stage of her life, right? If she continue to wait for the rental, which is a defensive play in my opinion, okay, where she should be going up in a more aggressive attacking phase, hunting undervalued property, it will make more sense for her because she can make more money in a safer way and a shortest amount of time. Of course, if she's in her 50s or late 50s, then I will say maybe you would like to stay put and just focus on consolidating your asset. It doesn't really matter whether you chase the additional $200,000 growth because you are at a comfortable position where you are in a profit. And at the end of the day, if you do choose to retire from your work, you can sell this off and just buy a HDB, and you still have a $1 million cash in the bank from selling of this unit. So the choice for her is rather clear. It's more of, okay, if I really were to decide to sell now, firstly, can I identify something that can make me the additional 300,000 in a shorter time frame and with a safer approach? So that's it for my video. I hope it answers the question of whether should you continue renting or sell your units. But of course, if you do want to restructure your property portfolio and assess which life cycle are you at, if you're lost, do feel free to reach out to me. If not, do remember to like, share, and subscribe.